Yes, the banks are here to pump the crypto market, and we saw this massive explosion towards the upside. But we're going to find out why we saw this pump. But first of all, we're going to look at the price of Bitcoin. And yes, Bitcoin broke this very important level, this critical $28,000 resistance that held the price of Bitcoin within this downward sloping channel. And we broke this trend line towards the upside and saw a massive explosion all the way up to the levels of 29,220. But what could we expect in the immediate short term? First of all, we're going to look at the news, why we saw this massive explosion towards the upside. And guys, if you've been watching my video, and yes, I've been telling you buy Bitcoin before it's too late, or even buy the dip. So if you're still watching this video without being subscribed, smash up the like button and subscribe, and most importantly activate the bell. And yes, we're going to go directly over to find out why we saw this massive pump towards the upside. And like I've been telling you in my short, this is the first time in history that the common man can still front run these major institutions, because we're going to see that BlackRock, Vanguard, Fidelity and these major institutions is going to pump the price of Bitcoin, and that they're actually planning on holding Bitcoin. Just in Citadel, Fidelity, Charles Schwab launches new crypto exchange platform EDX Markets. So yes, we're seeing major institutions are rolling in with these exchanges, and also that they're planning to hold cryptocurrency or Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So this is going to open the floodgates of trillions of dollars entering the markets. Crypto exchange EDX Markets, backed by Citadel Securities, Fidelity, Schwab, starts operation. And that is exactly what we saw in the crypto market, and that's why I told you don't believe this major FUD. Drown the crypto native exchanges in lawsuits, generate fear around them, this major FUD that we had in the markets of BINANCE and also Coinbase, and then let the traditional finance vultures swoop in. And that is exactly what we are seeing at the moment. Yes, over the past 2 weeks, BlackRock files Bitcoin ETF, Nasdaq launching crypto custody service, Deutsche Bank sees crypto custody service, Soros Fund Management says crypto is here to stay. Citadel, Fidelity and Charles Schwab launch crypto exchange. And that is exactly what is happening in the markets. They are pushing all the retail investors out. Like I told you on the weekly chart, this major consolidation in this downwards trend that we had for quite a while after we got this major pressure. Guys, if Bitcoin would really dump towards the downside, we would have lost the support long ago and we would have came all the way back down to our low. But this didn't happen. Bitcoin perfectly held this major support and we are once again over the 200 moving average. But guys, there's something very interesting. But if we go over to this post from Paula Web3 and Crypto, and by the way, a major shout out to Paula. Wow, just wow, why is this not in the news? The Federal Reserve has refused to answer congressional inquiries on this for so long. Now we know why. 414 Fed account holders are uninsured institutions, most of which have no federal regulator. Multiple institutions that may not even be eligible for a Fed master account have one. So yes, you can see this, all this FUD around the exchanges is just to get the retail investors out, because see what they are doing? So that's why don't trust any politician and buy Bitcoin before it's too late, before all this money is going to pour in the crypto market. And as we can see, yes, BlackRock and all these major institutions have $1 trillion on their balance sheet, and if they're only going to invest a small portion, guys, we're going to see that the price of Bitcoin will easily 15x from the price movement where we are at the moment. And yes, maybe you missed to buy Bitcoin at $1, at $100, at $10,000, at $20,000, but don't make the mistake and don't buy Bitcoin at the moment. Guys, this is going to be the major opportunity that you've been waiting for. So first step, go down in the video description below and sign up to my free Telegram group so that you always stay up to date. And yes, sign up to BITGET where you receive a massive deposit bonus and start dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin, because this is going to be the major step. And don't trust any politician, don't trust any third party. Hold your Bitcoin in your self-custody, because this is going to be the answer. Don't trust anyone or any institution that is going to hold your Bitcoin. Take possession of your Bitcoin and know how to do all the transaction and how to manage your own funds. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to link me up in my free Telegram group. But now let's go over to the charts to find out what is going to happen with the price movement in the immediate short term. So if you like these updates, smash up the like button. First of all, on the weekly chart, we can see that Bitcoin perfectly bounced off from this trend that we have been holding for quite a while, and that we could see from the beginning of the year. We had this pump towards the upside, consolidation, dump all the way back down, and then we formed this upward sloping trend and the price of Bitcoin perfectly bounced, and then we saw this major consolidation and this major pressure we got exactly here. And I told you in these regions, buy Bitcoin before it's too late. Yes, maybe we're going to see a dip towards the downside, but overall the market is going to turn around and we could expect a massive explosion, breaking this very important $30,000 level. But let's go on the lower time frames to find out what is going to happen in the immediate short term before we're also going to look at Ethereum. So on the 4-hour chart, we can see, yes, we came all the way back down to the bottom of this trend line and we were in this major support zone. And then we saw this bounce exactly in these regions. And afterwards, we saw that Bitcoin came all the way back up above the $26,700 where we saw this consolidation. But now we saw this massive pump towards the upside, breaking this downward sloping channel. And we also came above this major resistance, which will now act as support round about the $28,200 level, but the price of Bitcoin came all the way back up to the levels of $29,200. So what is going to happen in the immediate short term? First of all, we're going to draw the Fibonacci retracement level all the way from the swing low, all the way to the swing high, and then we can see, yes, perfectly this level where we had this trend line round about the $27,400, we can see the 38.2, but the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement level is normally a retracement level after we had the massive pump towards the upside. So first of all, Bitcoin has to see a consolidation before we're going to break this major resistance, which is all the way up here at the $29,500. So what is really going to be important, that we are seeing a consolidation before we're going to see the next pump up. Because why? Yes, if the price of Bitcoin would pump all the way back up into these regions, we're most probably going to see a bigger retracement all the way back down to retest this resistance, which now will act as support. So what we could expect, yes, I would expect that the price movement of Bitcoin will come all the way back down into the support zone of $28,270. Let me just change the color to green, because this is our support box now. And yes, I would like to see a consolidation in these regions with a bullish structure that is being formed here, and then we could perfectly take the break of this trend line that we would be forming after this consolidation to see that the price movement of Bitcoin will pump even higher. But let's go over to Ethereum, and yes, we could see that Ethereum perfectly turned around in these regions of $1,630, and we pumped all the way back up into this major confluence zone where we can see this downward sloping trend and also this rising trend. So what is really going to be important, that Ethereum comes all the way back up above this major trend line and that we're going to see this consolidation and form a higher high in comparison to the previous one, because this will give us the indication that yes, we have a low, higher low, and also a higher high. This would tell us that the overall market is turning around. But let's go back to Bitcoin, and yes, Bitcoin at the moment is at the level of $28,800. So ultimately, we want to see that Bitcoin is going to hold this major support. This will be extremely bullish for Bitcoin before we're going to see the next move. But maybe Bitcoin is just going to say, no, this is Bitcoin, and we're going to go right straight above the $31,000 level. Guys, if you always want to stay up to date, make sure to go down in the video description below and sign up to my free Telegram group. And if you like these updates, smash up the like button and subscribe, and be for crypto. And if you want to earn passive income, watch this video exactly now.